Agriculture and Livestock Development, Dr. Andrew Mwihia Karanja. Ministry of Health, Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza. Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, Eric Murithi Muga. Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy, Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndumu. Ministry of Education, Julius Migosi Ogamba. I am continuing to undertake consultations across the political divide on the balance of cabinet that I will appoint shortly.
Okay, so we expect more names from the president in terms of the remaining cabinet secretary appointees, but critics are focused on the 6 appointees who made a comeback to the cabinet secretary dockets, and that is definitely fodder for those who might be against those appointments. Let's start with you, Owino, because as the Sunday Standard puts it, the cabinet picks, the critics are faulting the president for picking the same old faces and have accused him for failing to heed to the voices of the youth. How do you view this? Because some argue that, getting rid of all the cabinet appointees, especially in the previous cabinet, was throwing the baby and the bathwater. Do you view it in the same manner, or did the president fail to heed to the youths? Your take.
Thank you so much. First of all, I think this was a great opportunity for the president.
Yes.
To balance between the demands of the Mwananchi and his personal interests and his methodology of governance. This was a great opportunity for him. But once you have voted in a president, the appointment of cabinet is his prerogative. It's upon him to pick a cabinet that he deems fit. But politics have a lot of dynamics and interests, because you will find that even the new faces, they don't just come. There are interests even in those new faces, because you can see the Minister for Health, Deborah, is from Bungoma, where the previous Minister for Health came from. So it means she must be serving a particular interest in the cabinet. The Minister for Agriculture also comes from, I think, the same region where the previous Minister for Agriculture came from.
Yes.
The Minister for Water, Eric Murithi, also comes from the same community and the area. The Minister for Education also comes from Kisii. So it tells you clearly the dynamics that even if you change faces, but they are still interested. It's only the Minister for ICT that has been replaced by a different person. And we can understand the case for the Minister for ICT. There could be 2 things playing. Either the president is waiting for Raila Odinga to give his members, and then because the Minister for ICT comes from Raila's not only region, but also village, their neighbors at home. So maybe the president is waiting, fine, this minister has worked so hard, he may be good, but let me see the people that Raila Odinga wants to pick. So once Raila Odinga picks, then he may be reconsidered, or he may reconsider. But a lot of challenge, for example, maybe you don't know, I'm the coordinator for UDA in Siaya, and I've registered 271,000 members in UDA. And they are calling me, telling me that, oh, does it mean we go back to ODM? Does it mean that our party does not recognize us? It means if Raila comes as a member of ODM, then UDA is not necessary in Siaya. We are 271,000. Does it mean that the president is going to pick a non-UDM member? Because once he does that, then the message to the people of Siaya is that you don't need to join any other party. Even if ODM is thinking, remain there, because after all, every 5 years when Raila loses, he will form a coalition. with the government that will be in place. So all of us, we may be told that sit back, wait where Raila will go, follow. And I think that would be very dangerous for us, the people of Siaya.
Okay.
So this is the president's prerogative, and it is still going to play a lot of things. But at the end of the day, when you look at the team that has come back, Adan Duale, Kithure Kindiki, Soipan Tuya, Alice Wahome, Rebecca Miano, these people have very strong, they're stakeholders in this government. This is their government that they formed, they campaigned for, they worked for, and maybe the president has a feeling that there's nothing much that is tainting them. For example, I know Murkomen is a strong person in the president's circles. But now, sometimes it's a moment where now people have painted you so badly that the president has very little that he can do. If I look at, from my security background, since this government, we have had very little challenges with terrorism, especially along our borders and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And I think behind the scenes, Adan Duale could be playing a very big role in northeastern, and also talking to the government of Somalia. And also, you know, Somalia government has been fighting Al-Shabaab. In fact, they are very busy internally. They have a lot of wars internally. The government is really, really fighting them. And I don't want to not to believe that Adan Duale could be playing a very big role in our management of security affairs along the border, and especially our relations with Somalia, which has been a very big problem. So internally, I want to believe he has a very big stake. If you look at Alice Wahome, she's a very strong supporter of the government, of the president in Central Province. And the president is also looking for a second term. Definitely. There's nobody who will be in office who will not be thinking of looking for a second term. So these are strong pillars. Kithure Kindiki was just a few seconds away from the presidency, from the deputy presidency, when the current deputy president was picked. He was a very strong contender. And I think very few Kenyans have a problem with Kithure Kindiki.
Okay.
So I think a lot is still going to play. And I know much of the politics going on was not just about the finance bill. There's much more that is boiling underneath the waters, which I think we will look at and discuss as time goes by.
All right.
Yes.
So you definitely don't see any political cost in the reappointments of those 6 individuals?
No, they are there. Remember, why is the president bringing in Raila Odinga in his government? And he has been a strong critic. It's because of he only lost by about 230,000 votes, and that means he has still a support of over 6 million votes.
Okay.
And then also remember that our former president is very young. He's young. He's a politician. Mm-hmm. He's a businessman, mm-hmm. and it is government that has the biggest share in business. We know a lot of business that his companies are doing with government, either directly his companies or family companies are doing with government.
All right.
And at the time of election, you are aware that the former president did not support the sitting president, so you don't expect that he would sit easy wherever he is.
No, right.
You are just aware that Raila Odinga was to have his people join government, and you know what happened the last minute. And there are a lot of rumors. People even saying today that they could be together somewhere, discussing and seeing how Raila Odinga can pull out of government. Mm-hmm. But from where I come, in Luo Nyanza, we want Raila to be in government, except that I want him to be in government, but I would not want a situation where the president gives him a clear path that he can appoint his cronies into his cabinet.
Okay, interesting. Yes. Ruth, as you come in, did the president waste a good crisis? Did he get it right in the reappointments he's made? Because it's an intricate balance between rewarding political loyalty on one side and equally merit-based appointments. Did he get it right?
The president definitely wasted a good crisis. You know, I listened to Mr. Owino here talking about how, trying to praise and trying to justify why some of these people had to remain as cabinet secretaries or rather come back. And I have so many questions. You know, there are so many ways to look at these reappointments, or rather appointments, reappointments, and new faces that have come to government. First of all, let us have the background of these whole appointments. The firing of the cabinet and the rehiring of older cabinet members and hiring of new cabinet members came about because of the Gen Z revolution, or call it quote-unquote revolution, or the demonstrations that were ongoing, where the finance bill was rejected and the young people now said, let us now tackle